Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court of Montana, a landmark case about the constitutional right to a clean environment, and what happens now. The story starts back in March of 2020, when Our Children's Trust filed the suit on behalf of 16 youths. At the time, they were aged between 2 through 18. The suit argued that the state's support of dirty energy is worsening the environment and depriving them of their constitutional rights. Sounds weird, right? Like those people who think they have a constitutional right to Szechuan sauce at McDonald's. But in the Montana State Constitution, there's a section that says, quote, "The state and each person shall maintain and improve a clean and healthful environment in Montana for present and future generations." The suit was brought by the future generations. In 2023, the case became the first climate-related constitutional lawsuit to make it to trial in the U.S. And a little more than a year ago, Clark District Court Judge Kathy Seeley ruled that emissions were, quote, "proven to be a substantial factor in causing climate impacts to Montana's environment and harm and injury to the youth plaintiffs." Of course, this was challenged, which led to Wednesday's Supreme Court decision. The state Supreme Court found in a 6-1 decision that Montana's youth had a fundamental constitutional right to a clean and healthful environment. It also found that a couple of Montana statutes that seemed to make it easy to damage the environment and exempt greenhouse gases from permitting considerations were unconstitutional and struck them down. The court pulled heavily from the transcripts of the debates during the 1972 Constitutional Convention, and due to that, stated, quote, "We reject the argument that the delegates intending the strongest all-encompassing environmental protections in the nation, both anticipatory and preventative, for the present and future generations, would grant the state a free pass to pollute the Montana environment." The ruling is 70 pages long. There was a dissent arguing that the plaintiffs had to show more than a theoretical harm. Republicans in the state legislature have accused the court of legislating from the bench and seem to be indicating they plan to make sure the right to a clean environment included in the state constitution is ignored. That part of Montana's constitution really is something else. The state and each person shall maintain and improve a clean and healthful environment in Montana for present and future generations. There's something called the seventh generation principle that is said to have come from the Iroquois Confederacy Constitution. Now, that's really an oral tradition, but the most recognized written version says, quote, "Look and listen for the welfare of the whole people, and have always in view not only the present, but also the coming generations, even those whose faces yet beneath the surface of the ground, the unborn of the future nation." That might be a concept we as a nation today, a world today, and movements today need to adopt. The world changes slowly most of the time, and keeping in mind the well-being of future generations might be our most important duty. And it's important to remember that the job isn't to restrict them to a future we would deem as best, with beliefs shaped decades before them. We should probably try to provide for their general welfare and let them chart their own course. I know, they don't know enough and they're arrogant. You might want to say, quote, "They think they know everything and are always quite sure about it," or that they, quote, "are high-minded because they have not yet been humbled by life, nor have they experienced the force of circumstances." That exemplifies a lot of attitudes toward the youth. But the problem is that those ideas and attitudes are dated, literally dated to about the 4th century BC. Those quotes are Aristotle. If our complaints are the same as people thousands of years ago, maybe we haven't learned the lesson the youth is teaching us. Or maybe we're quite sure that we know everything. The future is theirs. They should probably get a little leeway in guiding it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.